So you've all seen this. Oh, it's a little small. You've all seen this if you've come to work with me, which I think all of you are either in my course or know me from working with me. I won't spend too much time on it because you already know. But the main thing I want to say about this image is if this is your mind, this circle is your mind, the top part here is your conscious mind above this line. The conscious mind is what we are super indoctrinated, I would say, hypnotized into using to solve problems. So you go to work, your boss tells you, solve this problem. Well, what do? You don't go and meditate and look into your subconscious. You sit down and try to figure it out, or you look at your computer, or you look at Google, or you research something, right? That's just what we're used to. So we're very biased towards our conscious mind. That's unfortunate because, as we were saying at the start, really wide scale and high level change happens on the subconscious level. So, when the government is telling you what your belief system is, they're not so interested in this. They're interested in getting this part of you so that they have you for life. Then you become really permanently convinced. So that's the whole idea with hypnosis is if we can get through the deeper level of the mind, it becomes a permanent shift. It becomes a dependable shift and a long-term shift. So the interesting thing about the subconscious, I mean, there are many interesting things, but one of them is it guides the autonomic nervous system, ANS. The ANS controls everything about us. Our parasympathetic nervous system, our safety response, our immunity, our posture, our pupil dilation, our sexuality, libido, resistance to long-term disease. I mean, you name it, blink rate, posture. Everything is controlled at the ANS level, and the ANS receives its signaling from the subconscious. So, in order to create change, immediate change, there's no way to do it through this part of the mind. We have to go through this part. This also, I think, explains why some approaches work better than others. I mean, I love talk therapy. I've done tons of it, but a lot of people complain about it because it's repetitive, right? A lot of the explanation for that is it's rooted in the conscious mind. So the conscious mind can only go so far towards solving problems. So that model of the mind shows you that the subconscious is the place to place your attention and your energy. When you consider how it works, I couldn't find a hologram, but this is as close as I could in a picture. It's a holographic effect, right? The hologram inside of you is caught by whatever is external to you, energetically, let's say, and they reflect on each other. If you don't hold any vision or any map inside of yourself, then how is the universe supposed to know whatever you call it, God, energy, the universe, I don't care what you call it. But how is whatever is external to you supposed to know what to reflect back to you? So the hologram has to begin with us. That's what we're doing today, is creating the seed of the hologram. So the concept is as inside, so it's on the outside. If you're a messy person, I bet you your car is messy. If you're a very organized person, I bet you your bedroom is pretty organized. The inner and the outer reflect each other. You can also call this the law of attraction. So whatever filter you see the world through is what is attracted to you and what you attract. So it's not woo-woo. I think a lot of people think that this is like some woo-woo shit about the law of attraction. No, it's really not. It's just a law of resonance. It's a law of matching electricities or matching energies. So this is what the science of the mind is showing us. The outcome of this kind of thing, the reason I have a coffee here is because you've all heard me tell the story about the guy who came to quit. I think it was cigarettes, maybe it was alcohol, but anyway, one of the big ones. But then a week or two later, he writes me this email that's like, the craziest thing happened. I totally quit coffee, which I used to love coffee. He's like, how is that possible? Well, the reason is because the mind is a network and it connects to in many ways and to many places. And it has a meta messaging system that I'm going to show you in a minute. So the outcomes that we can expect from setting up the mind in this way. Somebody trying to join who keeps getting kicked out. are unknown. They're unpredictable. That's kind of what's so exciting about it is you'll change one thing, which is the thing you thought you wanted to change, but then you'll notice a bunch of other things. So what we're doing here is allowing you to participate actively in your own lifescape. The the outcome of that is unknown at this point. I mean, it's known to the extent that you're going to set your goal and set your plan, but many things will happen that you don't predict. Okay, so now a little activity. Any questions so far? You guys can jump in anytime if you have a question, and I'll stop to ask you as well. So we're going to play a little game now. It'll take us about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to talk a little bit oh, there he is again, as we, um, as we go through it. It's called The Truth About You. So I just want you to start with, you're looking at 2026. Let's just do that, not the rest of your life, but just this year. What is your goal? So write down what your goal is. As I was saying at the start, it does help to start with a lower stakes goal. It doesn't have to be like I'm going to be a millionaire this year, but you can go that big if you want to. But for now, something manageable. And as I said, you can reuse this later. So now that you know what it is, you'll be able to recycle it if you want to. You can watch the video again and do it again. But start with something that you want for this year. Think about what actions you need for your goal to come true. Give yourself a brief description of those action items. And then what will be the feeling of achieving it? What is it going to be like to have what you said you want? So if you want to lose weight, what will it be like to be lighter? If you want to go to the gym more, what will it be like to be stronger? I will feel empowered. I will, whatever the feeling of achieving your goal is. And I'll give you another minute for that. It is a little bit fast. Like I said, come back and do it again if it's too fast. But what I want you to do next is rewrite what you said you wanted more specifically. So I want you to add a date, any specifics about what it is you're asking for. And I also want you to rephrase everything in suggestion language, which is positive language. So if your goal is, I want to stop smoking, that's a negative, right? Stop smoking. So you're going to say something like, instead, I'm going to live a healthy lifestyle by April of 2026. And a specific would be something like, so that I can run the marathon or so that I can attend this party. Or it could be anything. If you're gonna do like, I don't know, let's say a musical thing, it would be like, I, know how to play the trombone by the 1st of July. I can play X and Y songs and I enjoy it. So don't forget the adverbs. Easily, with pleasure, comfortably, whatever it is that you want it to be, make it more specific. So I easily and comfortably learned to play the trombone by the 1st of July, including song X and Y. So you start with your general idea, then rephrase it with the date, any specifics involved, like the songs, the weights, the goal, the place, whatever, and take out any negatives and rephrase them into positives. And by the way, this is like a lesson inside of a lesson. That's how you create suggestions overall. So anytime in your life you're thinking about a goal that you have, don't think about it in terms of the thing you're getting away from. Think of it in terms of the thing you're going towards, and then um, add these details, dates and specifics. I don't want to spend too long on everybody's, but does anybody want to give their example and see if we want to edit it at all? Does anyone want to tell me what theirs was? You don't need to raise your hands. You can just unmute yourself if you want.
Maya, I had a question.
Yeah, of course.
Question and related to this. I was talking to a friend, and she was telling me that she was trying to do like self-hypnosis, and she was so she was it was about money.
Yeah.
And the thing that caught my attention, she's like, "Oh, I don't believe in that anymore. I'll never do it again," because I started like self hypnosis YouTube videos, and I kept doing, I want abundance and I want more money, and I do the sleeping and awake. And she's like, "And my budget doubled, but it's just double for me on payments. My credit card doubled in payments." So I got scared because I really got the money that I was asking, but it's just I got it to be paid in full.
Right. But that's why you're asking a great, excellent question right now. That's why be careful what you wish for. Like that's why the specifics matter. Because it's like, oh, I want money. Okay, well, do you want money in an insurance settlement on a fire on your house? No. Do you want money, from an accident that you got paid off? No. Do you want money from somebody who died and you inherited it? Maybe, maybe not.
Would you say that it's dangerous to do this on your own, therefore, really? Like, I mean, is she a victim of
I don't want to
not
say it's
consulting with a professional?
yes, but it is a good question because and now we're back to how I began my talk today, which is I don't use this anymore one to one because of exactly what you're saying. Because if I tell somebody close your eyes and you believe something negative, like I only get money through suffering, let's say that that's what your friend deeply believes, then she can wish for money all day long and she can design ways to get money all day long. But when she closes her eyes, she will still believe that negative sentence about herself. And that's called a dirty trance. That's what we call it in our industry. And a dirty trance, I mean, it is dangerous to a certain extent because now you're closing your eyes, manifesting something on top of an unresolved problem. I think that's a little dangerous. That's why I'm not a huge fan of the, YouTube Mel Robbins blah 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 movement. I like it because it's my thing, right? I believe it, it's correct. But it is also a little misleading because we're not telling people anything about resolution prior to using this kind of thing. So again, I give my disclaimer, over and over, which is I don't like to use this to resolve problems. If somebody tells me, oh, I'm a smoker or whatever, I used to, when I started my business, by the way, I would use closed eyes, but I didn't like it because I can't understand what's happening in your head. I can only do like a small percentage of understanding you through closed eyes. But if we're having a conversation, I know what is happening with your subconscious. We can talk it through, and it's a lot safer for us both. So I agree that that's a questionable direction because of exactly what you said. How do you know how you're getting it, and how do you know you're not exacerbating something that's previously unresolved? And by the way, that's also why I think we're very undervalued as hypnotists because it's like, oh, that's some woo-woo hippie shit. It's like, well, it's quite strong. It's pretty medicinal. I mean, I don't want to call people's names out who come to see me here, but if you've come, it's like, oh yeah, things that I've really struggled with that I couldn't get rid of, somehow it's gone now. But that's strong medicine. So you don't want to F with it. So the answer is yes, I do think a professional is needed at that level.
I have a question as well,
Yeah, of course.
if I may, if we have the time.
Yeah, of course.
Um, and this question comes from the place where, first of all, I've seen this before,
Yeah.
and I've read probably all, if not most, of Scott Adams' books, who's
Oh,
also a
cool.
hypnotist as well.
Love that.
And I'm recognizing the pattern of, writing down an affirmation. But since I have you here, I really want to ask you this question
Sure.
because my brain is a little bit messy that way, and um, like you're asking earlier about a goal, so you want to write down a goal, but a goal, like there's easy ones, like, I want to quit smoking, I want to quit drinking, like you know what it is. I don't have one like that.
Yeah.
Mine is I want to be focused in a way where like I leave aside my scattered brainedness and I get focused onto things.
Perfect.
But if someone asks me like, well, why do you want that? It's like the only reason I can articulate is because I have a feeling inside my chest and inside my gut that I didn't do the best I could.
Right.
And then if someone asks me, okay, well, what would it look like if you did the best you could? I don't know, but I know it wouldn't feel like this. And
Exactly.
so I've done this exercise a couple of times over the years, but I've never been able to like really nail down the language or like the thought process because it isn't vague on an emotional level. Like I know
Right.
what this feeling is, but I can't put it into words to tell you like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to publish a book. Like I don't know, maybe I don't want to publish a book.
Yeah.
All I
I mean,
know is that there's something that I know could come out and I'm
yeah.
not letting it
Yeah.
and I know I'm I have the deep conviction that it would be a good thing, but I don't know what that good thing is. I just want to get there.
Totally. I love everything you're saying because you really do understand the subconscious. For one thing, what you're advertising is unknown outcomes, like the cup of coffee that I showed. So that's
Mhm.
accurate. That is exactly what's going to happen. I don't know what it is. And by the way, like to me, that's how I know something is subconscious, that I feel it's calling me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And you know what's unfortunate is there's no value placed on that in the Western world. It's all discarded, like you hear a child saying something about their imagination. Or they feel something. I feel the energy of something. And some grandparent is going to say something like, oh, that's just your imagination, right? Like it's very dismissed in our world. But actually, what that is an expression of our deepest language, which is the subconscious language, which is tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of years old, whereas spoken language is what? Maybe a few thousand, maybe 10. So the language we're hearing when we feel that pull is our original human language. It's not even human, it's our original mammalian language. And why did we have that original language? So that we could communicate pre-verbally, so that we could warn each other, so we could do things in groups, so that we could protect ourselves from predators. So that yearning, that feeling is your subconscious speaking with you. So it's very interesting that you like have the ability to notice that. So then the question becomes, well, how do I have a conversation with it so it does something? So anyway,
Yeah.
fast forward to what do I put on my paper? So that's what you'd want to put on your paper is I want to, what is the right way to put it? Unlock the, you know, focus that I've always known was inside of me so that I can find out what my higher purpose is or what my higher calling is. And then I would add specifics to that. I want more and more clarity on that as the spring and summer evolve so that I can really see it by the fall or whatever it is for you. I just made that up. But I would put words to the feeling without losing track of what that feeling is originally because that's already your subconscious in its own voice. I mean, let me say this too, which is an interesting thing about what you're asking. I'm not the hypnotist who says, oh, let's just put the conscious mind aside. Like that's what a lot of hypnotists will do. They'll say, close your eyes, we're not going to work with your conscious mind. Like to me, that's a crock of shit because the truth is the mind. You can't just tell one piece of it like don't have any presence right now. Like when you lift with your arms, you need your trunk to be stable. Like just because I'm working my triceps doesn't mean the rest of my body's not present. It might not be the thing that I'm like focused on. But so the mind is the same. The conscious mind is always aware, the subconscious mind is working, and vice versa. So to me, taking it out of subconsciousness, putting it into conscious words, and then retreading it back into subconsciousness is just creating more crossover, which is more meta messaging, which is what we want. We're creating meta messaging with this whole system. I have no idea if I answered your question. Did that help you?
Yeah, it did actually. Because I always get stuck on the instructions and then like I'm like, but yeah, but I can think of 50 different ways of doing things. Which one am I supposed to do?
But
So
see,
your answer is very helpful.
but again, I think people often think of themselves as deficient, right? Oh, there's too many ideas in there. Oh, I can't concentrate, whatever. No, that's because the subconscious is operating at a very high frequency, well beyond what our consciousness can track. Like, I'll give you an example. Use your conscious mind to track an idea. Okay, it's a zebra wearing a hat with a red nose, wearing high heels, wearing a blue sweater. Okay, what color was the nose? Like it's really quick. I mean, it's red because it was Santa and we remember that it was really like a reindeer or whatever. But I don't know, because of the holidays. I don't know where that all came from. It's my subconscious, right? But the point is, the conscious mind will stop tracking details after like a dozen. Like if I had added more stuff to that image, you would have started to forget them really quickly, unless you're a genius. The subconscious never loses track. It can track all 50 things at once and be like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's good. That's good. I need to do this, and this. This is the order I'm going to, and it does it all in an instant. That's how the subconscious works. It's a supercomputer. That's why sometimes I tell people in my sessions, okay, so let that all synthesize right now. And then 100 things that we've talked about suddenly come into focus. Why? Because we've given permission or asked the subconscious to do what it's really good at. We just underestimate ourselves.